Hey, welcome to another episode of Dave's Imaginations. Today we're going to continue Burrek Grumbleforge's adventure through the Tyrants of Zhentil's keep. Stay with me. So let's jump over to my notes. Burrek. I'm low on health after defeating that bugbear and freeing the goblin slaves. A couple of those slaves that I freed asked me to help them defeat the real leader of the bugbears in this operation. Another bugbear named Thrax and his warg Chopper. I agree, but I insist on a short rest. But on the way to finding that short rest, I encounter a young lady who happens to be Endlin Turb, the young carpenter that was looking for a magic item. We talk and she agrees to join us while she looks for an artifact that she's looking for in these underground caverns. The four of us after I take my short rest, the four of us find Grax and his warg, and we put an end to them, freeing the goblins once and for all. We search the remains, search the caverns for this artifact. We find some gold, we find some food, Wendell's food, but we don't find Enlin's artifact. We do find a note, a mysterious note, something about another tunnel system signed by just the letter M. Endelin and I make our leave through the tunnels, through Wendell's store. He's very appreciative, but I turned down payment as agreed. By the time we're done, the day is long, and Endelin and I return to the inn. She to her room, me to her. We agreed to meet for breakfast, but I'm tired and I must rest. I lay down, and as the rest is about to take me, there's a rapping on my window. I go to the window, I pick up Bonnie and go to the window, who's asking for me. And I look out and there's an elf dressed as a Zhent, but he's no Zhent. So let's jump over to our notes. And so the notes say here, do I know Toedric? I don't know Toedric. So if not, I go to 62. Let's read on. 62. What do you want, I say, urgently as I look out the window. This knight checks behind and to all his sides, perhaps to see if he was being followed. Open your window, Outlander. We need to talk. I'm hesitant at first, but then he says we know of your deeds at Withercote Wood, your defeat of the Death Knight, your rescue of Derek Brumont. Do not ask how we know. We just do. And now a new quest awaits you. Glory and riches, my friend. These words don't mean much to me. Glory and riches. I have no use for glory and riches, other than giving me enough money to afford my adventures. I don't need riches. The elven warrior steps, and I nod. Thank you. My name is Toedric. I belong to the ancient order, the Knights of Myth Drannor. Perhaps you've heard of us. We've been watching you, Outlander. Ever since you arrived at Zhentil Keep, we have eyes throughout the city. Not as many as the Black Network, perhaps, but enough for us to achieve our aims. I consider this for a moment. What aims? There's a pause, and then he responds. I'm yourself. We need to talk. Take a walk. I'm not really in the mood for a walk. I'm injured. I need to rest.
No, you'll be fine. Just pick up your weapon and come with me. You'll be safe. I'll protect you.
Fine. I follow Toedric. We go outside and I follow Toedric. Toedric, as he calls himself, leads us deep into a labyrinth of tangled streets and endlessly twisting alleyways. Suddenly he stops dead in his tracks, putting a fist in the air. I freeze. He waits, holding his dagger, and says, "Quiet now," he whispers. Waiting for a long moment, listening, watching, making absolutely sure haven't been followed. Ooh, there he is. Finally, after what seems like an age, the elven knight moves forward towards a door at the end of the alley, motioning for me to follow. I arrive at the door and an unassuming wooden entrance on the side of the building. Toedric pushes it open, ushers me inside, then steps through himself, quickly shutting behind. We're in total darkness, and just as I began to fear for our life, suspect that I was a victim to some insidious, deadly trap, a flame bursts into life and candles are lit. 1, 2, 3, shedding light all around the room and illuminating faces. Seated around the table are 6 old men in hooded robes, but by their bearing and the scars they wear, I know these are warriors, veterans.
"Welcome, traveler," one of them says. "Come, be seated."
The 6 old men and the elven warrior who brought me here all sat down around the table, faces lit by shimmering lights of the candles.
"Welcome, traveler," one of them says. "No doubt you are wondering why you are here. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Juan Falconhand. I am the leader of this little band. We are the Knights of Myth Drannor."
The Knights of Myth Drannor. I suppose I've heard of them. Another of the old men pipes up,
"Well, not the Knights of Myth."
Juan cuts to the old man.
"Shut up, Addy."
He shakes his head, turning back to me.
"No, of course, we're not the entirety of the Knights of Myth Drannor. We are as a small cell placed here in Zhentil Keep, so that we might be useful in our old age. We sheathed our swords long ago, but still we watch and we keep an eye on Monsoon and his evil doings. Those are many."
Manchu, I think. That begins with an M.
"The guts of it, my friend," another chimes in, "is that we've been watching you. We need one such as yourself. As you can see, we are well past our prime. Not only that, but no knight of Myth Drannor, even a young one, could complete this task we require of you, as there is danger that a native of Moonsea would be recognized by the Zhentil.
Juan cuts back in.
"This is right. And perhaps you have seen the discrimination that is currently being shown towards orcs, and heard the stories, perchance, of an orc horde marching on the Citadel of the Raven."
"It's all nonsense," another old-timer complains. "A complete falsehood," screams. "Utter codswallop," another one adds.
"The rumor goes," Huon continues patiently, "that Galantor Huckhelm, the captain of the guard at the Citadel, was assassinated by orc spies who somehow infiltrated Citadel. Well, we know that that's a falsehood, because Citadel is practically impenetrable by a force of any size. Besides that, what motive would the Thar orcs have to invade the Citadel? It poses no strategic advantage to them. Their own lands are well defended, and they have no designs over the Moonsea. No, it's a ruse, all of it. The Black Networks are experts at this sort of thing. This sort of scaremongering. The real truth, Huan continues, is that Manchun had Galanthur Hockhelm assassinated by his Zhentil spies. Galanthur Hockhelm was elected by all the Moonsea cities to serve as the commander of the Citadel, protecting the Moonseas from invaders, but it is known that he is defiant towards Manchun. For this reason, Manchun wanted him dead. Now he is dead. And soon, Zhentil will have full control of the Citadel. Once they do, Manchun will dominate these lands. It is rumored that there is a network of tunnels that originates in the Dragonspire Mountains and leads right under the Citadel. Xantar, the founder of the city, had the tunnels constructed to serve as an escape from the Citadel in times of siege. We've only ever suspected these tunnels existed, but now we know they must. And now the Zentrum have found them. Or perhaps they knew the tunnels were there all along? This is the only way into the Citadel other than its gates. The only way Zentrum could have gotten in there to assassinate Hockhelm.
Unless teleported in, one old knight suggests, raising a finger.
One cuts him off, though. No, there is a teleport cage around Citadel. The Citadel is ancient, full of mysteries. No one can teleport in. Once inside, yes, magic can be used, but no one can teleport past those walls.
All right, I suppose, the other guy goes.
One looks to me unexpectedly,
with a glimmer of hope in his clear blue eyes.
We need you to find the entrance to these tunnels, wherever it lies within the Dragon Spires. We need you to follow these tunnels inside the Citadel, and once there, kill the Zentrum spies that have infiltrated the Citadel. They may be holding the men there hostage, or they may be hiding in plain sight. You will be rewarded.
Illus chimes in. Another one of them chimes.
King Azun will see to it that we have already discussed the matter with him. He, like all of us, desire to thwart Manchun's plans. Here's a token of our goodwill.
And Toedric passes a pouch into my hands. It's heavy. That must be 800 gold.
Yes, 800 gold, he says, and another 800 once the job is done.
That's quite a sum.
Huan continues, if you could not find the entrance to the tunnels, continue to the Citadel. There's a small chance you can get in and over or under the walls, concealed in a guard perhaps. I don't know how, but you look like a cunning sort. Once you are inside, you must find a knight called Sir Steval Skurynd. Skurynd. Sir Steval Skurynd, a purple knight, and tell him exactly what we've told you. But if you can, try your utmost to find the tunnel entrance. We must destroy that entrance so that no more Zentrum can infiltrate the Citadel. Huan sighs as if exhausted by telling me the story. So what do you say, traveler? Are you willing to take up our quest?
How could I refuse? His face lights up with a broad smile, as do the faces of all the other old men at the table.
Excellent, he says,
embracing me warmly.
I can't tell you what this means to us, friend. You will be rewarded, but beyond that, you will have saved Moonsea from tyranny. And of course, you will always have friends in the Knights of Myth Drannor. Go now, one says, placing a hand on my shoulder. Get some rest. You will need it for the quest ahead. At dawn tomorrow, leave the city. A mile from the gates,
Toedric, he indicates the knight who led me here.
Toedric will meet you with a horse and guide you to the foots of the Dragonspires, about 30 miles ride. After that, you are on your own.
One of the knights, an ancient character who looks more like a mage than a fighter, approaches with a blue bottle.
To heal your wounds, he says in a quiet voice. I fear you will need it, young warrior.
He hands me what he calls a healing potion. After exchanging final words and receiving their blessing, I quickly emerge back out in the alleyway and walk quickly, finding my way back out onto the street. My head is spinning. With all that I've learned, all that's been thrust into the middle of, but I cannot help feeling that this quest is vitally important. I return to my lodgings, my mind abuzz with anticipation at the prospect of this quest. As I navigate my way back to the inn, I sleep as well as I can. The spirits in my head, always conniving, always failing my sleep. But I do get a long rest. And after a long adventure-filled day at the Zhentil Keep, the next morning I wake up with the rising of the sun and go downstairs where the innkeep serves me a steaming hot bowl of porridge with a dark brown sugar and a large mug of coffee to bolster my spirits. I make my way through the city. I make my way through the quiet early morning streets of Zhentil Keep. Slightly on the edge as I watch the rooftops and alleys for Zentrum spies. I wonder of Endlin. I missed her this morning. She'll probably be mad with me. But this seems too dangerous for her. She seemed in no adventuring type, not of the standards necessary to take on such a quest. But I look and I make sure she's not following me. I reach the city through city gates without incident, and I give a nod to the guards as I leave the gray walls of Zhentil Keep, and I start west, back towards Teshwave. I walk about a half hour, keeping an eye out for Toedric, as I ascend a long, gradual slope leading up towards the foothills of the rocky Dragonspire Mountains. Then, as I near the upper edge of the slope, the elf himself suddenly appears from amongst the copse of trees, riding one horse and leading another. He is dressed in chainmail, but wears no livery. Toedric comes alongside me, dismounts, unhitching the second horse's reins from his own mount, and hands them to me.
Morning, he says. Shall we ride?
I mount the chestnut mare with ease and set off alongside Toedric as the morning sun climbs into the sun at our backs, warming the air with the grassy landscape that surrounds us. Toedric says little as we ride. And together we cover many miles. By mid-morning, the Dragonspire Mountains fill our view, towering before us like rocky sentinels. We ride all day, stopping only at midday for a bite to eat and to water the horses from a small stream, and by early evening, we reach a junction marked by a large obelisk, where a trail leads northwest into the heart of the Dragonspires. A road branches off southwest towards Teshwave. Toedric dismounts and indicates that I should do as well.
Go on from here,
the knight says, nodding down the northwest.
That will lead you into the Dragonspires. The journey to the Citadel of the Raven will take several days, and much of it will be hard going. But you look well-traveled, so you'll do fine.
He equips me with extra provisions, 3 days' worth, and a ring bearing the crest of the Myth Drannor.
I have no idea how to find the secret tunnels that Huon spoke of, nor how to enter the Citadel should you fail to find the tunnels. But, should you manage to reach Sir Steval Skurynd, show him this ring. He will know. He will know then that your mission is true.
I thank Toedric as we part ways, watching him ride into the distance. I start setting up camp, wondering what adventures the Dragonspire Mountains hold for me.
Yeah, well, with that, it says, congratulations, worthy adventurer. You made it to the end of the part 1 of this adventure in one piece. That was quick. I didn't expect it to end so quick. Your quest to foil the evil plots of Manchun and his black network will continue in part 2 of this adventure, entitled Citadel of the Raven, to be released next year. I already have it. Keep your character sheet aside in preparation for this quest. In the meantime, there's no reason why you couldn't create a new character and explore this adventure some more. I'm thinking I will. I'm thinking I'm going to. Let's see here. I'm thinking I will. I think I'll develop the Enlil Torb character. I'm thinking that maybe she is more than she led on to be. More than Burrek was able to discern. I think she is more. Some sort of treasure hunter on behalf of her family. I'm gonna make her up as a rogue, and then I'm gonna explore the Tyrant of Zhentil Keep a little more. I think there's adventures in there that I just didn't stumble on as Burrek. So we're gonna do that. The next episode of Dave's Imagination Presents Tyrants of Zhentil Keep will be following the adventures of Enlil Torb to see where it leads her. Will she be able to survive all that's thrown at her through the Zhentil Keep? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out that and much more next time on Dave's Imaginations. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. If you did, if you wouldn't mind, please hitting the subscribe and the like button and notifications so that you won't miss any episodes. So, until next time, take care.